Uh, I'm looking out here. We've got some of the folks here. All right. Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little different, just a little bit of a head cold, but I am certainly grateful for the ability to be here today and to update you on a number of different and important developments affecting our administration, starting with some news regarding our national parks. As many of you know, when the Schumer shutdown recently threatened to shutter our state's beautiful national parks, we jumped into action. We reached an agreement with the National Park Service that allows us to use state resources to keep the New River Gorge National Park open and Harpers Ferry open to the public. Part of why I was motivated to do that is I knew there are a lot of small businesses in Harpers Ferry and down by the New River Gorge who really rely on the tourism business that comes through. And anecdotally, after I was at the New River Gorge for the press conference last week, I went down into Fayetteville. I was in Fayette County talking with a number of the small businesses, and I think people were thrilled. And you're going to hear more about that in the upcoming days because it's important that we step up and protect West Virginia businesses. So I feel very good about that. Now, we know that October is one of the busiest tourism times of the year. And last year alone, more than 200,000 visitors came to New River Gorge in October. 78,000 visited Harpers Ferry. Think about how many hotel rooms are booked, how many restaurants are booked, how many of the smaller stores get business from all the people that are coming in from within our state and across the country. That's not something you want shut down. I strongly condemn the political gridlock in Washington that's led to the Schumer shutdown, but we're not going to allow the people of West Virginia to suffer from that. So I'm also pleased to announce today that as a way to help folks in need and to make sure that parks are affordable, that we have, it's going to be 15, 20, and we think that's still good, right? 20%. So this is big news. We are announcing a 20% discount to any visitor, whether you're from West Virginia, D.C., or anywhere else, who books a 3-day stay in our beautiful state parks. This is an incredible thing. We want to let people know there are some exceptions to the rules, Thanksgiving, and we know this goes through December 30th, but we want people from across the country to know not only are our beautiful national parks open, but you have an opportunity to come and spend time in wild and wonderful West Virginia and get it at a discount rate. If ever there's a time to come to the Mountain State, it certainly would be right now. In order to access the discount, visitors should use one word: Fallmost Heaven. Fallmost Heaven. It's pretty cool. And there's no better time to come and visit. So exciting news. We want to make sure people in West Virginia avail themselves of this opportunity. But also, if you're from around the country and you're seeing this video, come to West Virginia. You're going to get an incredible opportunity to see the most beautiful state in America. And what we found through some of the statistics is that when you come to West Virginia through tourism, you're more likely to come back a second time. That's a pretty cool thing. And what Chelsea and Jeremy are going to talk about today are just some of the real distinct reasons why you might want to come visit at this particular time of year. If you're wondering where to begin your journey, our Department of Tourism, well, they've got you covered. There's a live leaf map on our website. That's wvtourism.com. That's going to help you track the very best places to experience the colors of fall. And who better to explain where the best leaf peeping practices are than our Director of the Division of Forestry, Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, this is exciting because how often do you get a chance to come to a press conference and brief people about West Virginia's autumnal excellence?
It's a first for myself, and I'm very excited to do so.
There you go. Come on in.
Thank you,
Say
sir.
a few words.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Governor, for this opportunity. Just want to start off briefly with updating everyone on the current situation with our fall foliage. We are early on in the season. That season has been delayed just a little bit due to the weather. Everyone knows we're involved in a terrible drought again, along with a stretch of above average temperatures. So that's kind of pushed things back very slightly. Thankfully, with the rain that we received this past weekend and some cooler nights, such as the one last night forecasted, currently we're in peak foliage up near the higher elevations. It's all reflected on the map over there. Areas around Canaan Valley, Tucker County, Preston County, et cetera, stretching all the way down through the Greenbrier Valley. Got a report today from an employee in the Greenbrier Valley is starting to show some really good color down that way. With that being said, the current forecast is showing some cooler nights along with shorter daylight hours. So I really think the foliage is going to start picking up in the coming weeks. I encourage everyone to come to West Virginia, visit one of our wonderful state parks, go for a Mountaineer Mile hike. We've got Ridge Day coming up next weekend. Thanks to Governor Morrisey along with President Trump, our national park is still open down there. So really want to just encourage folks to come and enjoy the next few weeks. This is my favorite time of the year. The weather's going to be awesome. So come out and enjoy our beautiful forest.
Great. Thank you. Well, we appreciate that presentation, Jeremy. And I know that he mentioned Bridge Day. We have high confidence that Bridge Day is going to go on unhitched. So we'll keep talking about that. We'll update people. We're all hopeful that the Schumer shutdown comes to an end sooner than that. But we are not going to let our parks close down. And this has been very positive. Now, we know that October isn't just about chasing fall foliage. This is also a great time of year where a lot of people are going to be hunting around for Halloween decorations. And we have some new developments this year on an extremely popular paranormal trail where we've added 4 new haunted sites full of rich and spooky history. To tell you more about that, I'd like to turn it over to our fabulous tourism secretary, Chelsea Ruby, who's been putting all this together. Chelsea?
Thank you, Governor. So this is Jeremy's first press conference to talk about leaves. And Governor, I'm betting this is your first time to talk about spooky places.
I don't know. You could.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
As Attorney General, I found a lot of spooky things.
Okay. All right. So let me first start by a huge thank you to the governor for allowing us to keep those national parks open. I think it's hard to quantify the impact to the local businesses and the local communities, but I want to try by using one statistics. Our annual economic impact report just came out. And what that report shows is that on average in West Virginia, so this is on an average, people are spending more than $18 million a day in tourism activities. Again, October is our 4th busiest park, or our 4th busiest month in the national park. So I think I would say it's even higher than that in October. But like the governor said, that's hotel rooms, those are restaurants, those are local shops. It's the local economy. So Governor, thank you very, very much for your leadership on that. So switching gears completely to spooky tourism. So last year we started seeing a lot of trends that showed people were really into spooky things. They were into paranormal activity. And I'll be honest, our team really wanted to do this for a couple of years. And it's not really my own thing personally. I'm very scared of things and not my thing. But I said, let's follow the research. Let's see if this is something that people are interested in. So we're 2 years in. As the governor said, we've added 4 new spots. The map is extensive. And if anybody would like a map, I can get you a map. But there are cool places all over the state. And what I'll tell you is in 2 years of this trail, we have had people from 48 states and 8 countries. So here's the different spooky places. I've got some of the prizes over there, but really encourage folks who are looking for a fall adventure. You're not sure where to go, but you live in West Virginia or you live nearby and you want to go try something new, see the leaves. This is a great way to curate your trip. If you're not into spooky places, that's okay too. Follow the West Virginia Swings, West Virginia Waterfalls. And if you really just want to get out and take a drive, look at our website, wvtourism.com, and look at the live leaf tracker. And you can look for pictures of what fall foliage in different areas look like today. So again, fall is a wonderful time to explore. If anyone needs help planning their vacation, visit our website or follow us on social media. And thank you again.
Thank you, Justin. Well, that's great. And it's certainly an amazing time of year here in the Mountain States. So we're urging people to take advantage of it. I really do believe our autumnal colors are superior to so many of the states. And so this is an opportunity with our discount, with the opening of the national parks, and the opportunity to really take advantage of all the really cool things that West Virginia tourism has to offer. This is really an opportunity for people to come to the Mountain State to visit, or for people in state to go out and take advantage of the amazing parks and our treasures. Uh, Now I'd like to actually shift gears for a moment just to do a couple quick updates in some other areas. As you know, with the recent passing of Supreme Court Justice Tim Armstead on August 26th, we have some work to do. We have to have a replacement at the Supreme Court. As many of you know, Justice Armstead was elected to a 12-year term in 2020. With his seat now vacant, we're moving forward in accordance with state law to appoint a successor who will serve at a minimum until May of 26 and potentially beyond, because this seat goes to 2032. We're obviously going to be looking for someone with an unshakable commitment to the rule of law, and someone who's going to serve the people of West Virginia with integrity, impartiality, and a deep respect for the Constitution. I feel really good about the last pick that we made, and I know that we have a number of good people to choose from. My understanding that at least 12 people had submitted their names. I can walk them through, but all of these names have been submitted to JVAC, the Judicial Vacancy Commission, including Laura Faircloth, David Gilbert, Dan Greer, Eric Hudnall, Ryan Kennedy, Brendan Long, Elgin McCardle, Stephen Redding, Robert Ryan, Martin Sheehan, Gerald Titus, and Zach Viglianco. According to the state code, there's some time restrictions put in place in terms of when I need to make the pick. But right now, the applications are in. And then from the date that we receive the applications, there are 30 days to make the appointment. So we're going to be proceeding. JVAC will do the interviews with a number of the candidates. And then presumably, once this pick occurs, that person will be running for the seat in May of 26 and will be able to serve out the remainder of the term to 2032. So big news on that front. I'd also like to just briefly update people to let you know that in the upcoming days, we're going to also be doing an additional announcement related to President Trump's initiative to extend the reasonable useful life of coal-fired power plants. So we're getting very close to making some announcements. We've been working closely with a number of different folks about how we can continue to keep existing power generation and grow that as well. And we are appreciative of the president for what he's doing and his plan. And we believe, given the conversations I've had with the Department of Energy and the Dominance Council that the president has put together, that there's a chance to do some really incredible things that extends that reasonable useful life out. So I expect we're going to have some news on that in the upcoming days. So a lot that's going on right now. We know that this is a great time for West Virginia to get in the great outdoors. And we, of course, encourage everyone watching to take advantage of wild and wonderful West Virginia. With that, I'll ask any questions from media that may be out there. Anna.
Anna with WCHS. You mentioned you were talking about the shutdown, the impacts on the
Yeah.
national parks. As this goes into week 2 now, any kind of idea on how this could impact other federal programs, other federal employees, any contingency plans there?
Well, a couple things. First, we know that we want the Schumer shutdown to come to an end. That's the first and most important thing. And I think that the House and Senate, the House in particular, they sent a clean CR. And it seems to make sense to just move forward with the CR and then come back to the table and negotiate. But we know that we want the shutdown to come to an end. There are a number of folks in the Eastern Panhandle, federal workers. We want them to be able to keep their jobs and get back to work. So We have a lot of sympathy. Different parts of West Virginia obviously have a number of federal workers, up in the north central region as well. So we'd love to see this incredibly dysfunctional situation, the Schumer shutdown, come to an end. And that's where we are. In terms of some of the other programs, we know that I think for the upcoming weeks, while there can be some impact, we believe that at least for the foreseeable future, we're trying to deal with that. We haven't heard of many issues and problems. Obviously, we have people that we want to get back to work. But in terms of the program benefits, those still remain in place, and we haven't heard of interruptions in those areas. So that's been positive. Next question, Aaron.
Okay, my question has to do with the big beautiful bill. Given that it results in nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts over 10 years, and the Rural Health Transformation Fund program that you've been talking a lot about lately, that's $50 billion. I was wondering what your plan is for preventing the closure of rural hospitals that are relying on Medicaid dollars.
So this is a good example. This is fake news because the cuts that people are talking about, we know that there are changes that may be coming into place, but there's a way we can address some of it up front. I think it's really important for people to know that if we engage with the rural health transformation the right way, the goal is to move the needle from a healthcare outcome perspective. If people get better and they don't have to go into the hospital, they're keeping themselves healthier, then we can reduce some of the spending at the back end. So I believe firmly that the dollars that are being put on the table are substantial. I've been around in healthcare for a long, long time, and I've never seen the dollar amount that's being put in place from a preventative perspective and to really look at needle movement in terms of things such as diabetes or substance abuse or obesity. And so I think that there's an opportunity to address a lot of that in advance. Furthermore, when you look at what's going on from within the rural communities, if we're able to add workforce to the rural communities, and that's permanent, we have a chance to really build on the commercial strength within those rural areas and ideally move more people who would otherwise be in Medicaid onto commercial products, which is superior. We'd like more people to be in commercial plans than we would for Medicaid. So obviously there are changes. We all acknowledge that there'll be changes in Medicaid, but I would not be dismissive of the potential of the rural health transformation. And so I think that a lot of these predictions are speculative because if we get the good work done up front from a prevention perspective and making the changes we're talking about, I think that that could mitigate a lot of the potential estimates that people are saying. You get a follow-up, sure.
Can you elaborate on what specific part of my question was fake news and what your specific plan is?
Yeah, I can say that when people are talking about all these numbers, I think that it's very speculative because, as I indicated, you have a chance for the first time ever through the rural health transformation. That's a massive amount of money. Let me tell West Virginians what's coming. This is really incredible because when you hear this nonsense, I want to make sure people level set and they can focus on what's available. The minimum that West Virginia will get under the big, beautiful bill through rural health transformation is $100 million a year, every year for 5 years. We're going to submit an application. We're going to try to actually get a lot more than that. Obviously, we don't know what the amount is yet. The application is due November 5th, but that's an opportunity to put a lot of resources in right here to West Virginia. Furthermore, if we do it right, there'll be an ability to leverage additional private sector resources. That's significant, and I think those investments can make a big difference so that we don't have to see some of the changes at the back end that people are projecting. So that's why it's fake news to be trying to scare people with the dollar amounts that are out there. When you know you have a major policy that's going to intervene and it's working to get people better, I think it's important to give that opportunity. Our president deserves a chance, and he's shown great leadership along with RFK and Dr. Oz to make this happen, to improve healthcare outcomes. And I, for one, would rather have this investment up front than at the back end. So that's exactly what I mean, and I'm grateful for the chance to address it. Any next questions? Hey, Anna.
Hey, I just wanted to see if there was an update as well on the hospital sale. I know those
Sure.
We're 2 weeks away from the extended closing date. We're hearing concerns from employees just about pensions and different things. Are those sort of the things that are tying it up?
So obviously we've been still working together to get that to closure, and I think we're making good progress on that. The original contract gave a 30-day extension, and so they exercised that. So I think it's all going to come together very, very well. And so I know that I've asked our head of facilities, our secretary of facilities, to make sure that we're engaging, because we think this is a great opportunity for a lot of the employees, that they're going to be able to work for a company that is committed to West Virginia, and there's a chance for them to really benefit from that. So I feel very good about the progress that we're making, and as more people learn about the sale of these facilities, they'll realize that government shouldn't have been in the business of managing these nursing homes in the first place. I'm always fond to point to the case I worked on as Attorney General, where you had the patient who was in the scalding water, and the quality of care, I think, is an opportunity to really get better and better. So I feel good about those discussions, but they're going to keep going, because we want to make sure that we're taking good care of our people, and that's certainly our goal. Other questions from the media? Great. Well, listen, I'm appreciative for the opportunity to be here. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Thank you. All the good colors. Did you need to turn some of them around, or?
Oh, yes, so it'll be a week or so. Yes, sorry, Governor, I didn't understand. So these, we're projecting a week or so behind these original projections.
Yeah.
So we'll update that in our fall, our next fall update, but folks should know about a week behind.
That's great. Guys, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.